Hey guys, my name's Seb, and I've watched the live stream of Gamescom.
Hey everybody, I'm Blue Fox, and I've been to Gamescom.
Hey everybody, my name's Danny, and I've never been to Gamescom.
But you know what it is. So let's get started. So, Blue Fox, quick breakdown, because you've actually been there. Do you want to explain what Gamescom is for people that have no idea?
Yes, basically Gamescom is one of the biggest video game conventions of the world. I believe it's the biggest one because E3 back in Los Angeles is no longer happening after COVID. So, and the Tokyo Game Show, I believe, is a bit smaller. So yeah, I think it's the biggest video game event in the whole world that takes place in Cologne, Germany. And it's an amazing opportunity for us gamers both to come together and do cosplays and take a beer and enjoy it, but also to, of course, try the new games that were announced at the presentation. Amongst many very big productions from many big studios. And again, seeing the previews and trying the demos, it's a wonderful, wonderful experience that I would suggest everybody to do once in their lifetime.
Yes, it is a very good event, and they've had that lovely big convention where they show off all those trailers, and yes, you've got all that stuff going, and it's a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing, and I always find it kind of weird when all of us gamers get out and we all meet each other. And we're like, ooh, we're all the same people. We're all going to a thing. It's a wonderful experience, and we are going to talk about some games that have been announced there. We'll talk about some games that have been announced, and we'll talk about some games that are up and coming. We're going to talk about the big ones, that everyone's talking about, and we are going to immediately start off with the game Black Ops 6. Danny, Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
You are the Black Ops fan in this club right now. So,
Yes.
do you want to tell us about what you expect from the game Black Ops 6?
Well, Black Ops 5. So, if I remember, Black Ops Cold War
Yep.
was after Black Ops 5.
Yep.
But it's a part of the Black Ops universe, but it's not direct. It's not like. I don't know why they didn't call it Black Ops 6, and why they're calling this new Black Ops 6, when technically Cold War is Black Ops 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not Activision. I don't know. But Black Ops Cold War, I think it was a very good story.
Yeah.
I liked it because I like history anyway, and they were going for the historical, like, the Cold War and stuff. It was quite interesting to play. I suppose I learned a couple things from the Cold War. So yeah, I found Cold War a really good game. But when I play those types of like campaigns, I don't play multiplayer. I'm just not a fan of it. I base it off a campaign. So I'm only gonna be talking about the campaigns, okay? Because I don't play the multiplayer. I play Warzone, but that's different. That's made for multiplayer.
Of course.
But this Black Ops 6,
Yeah.
I expect it to be pretty good, because Black Ops 5 was terrible.
Yeah.
Wait, no, was it Black Ops 5? Hold on, let me just double check that, because can't remember which Black Ops didn't actually have. Oh, sorry, my bad. No, Cold War was Black Ops 5. I got it mixed up. It was Black Ops 4. But I think Black Ops 4 was the worst ever Black Ops, because it didn't even have a campaign.
It didn't have a campaign.
And I paid about £50 for it, and I was so excited to play it when I was younger. Yeah.
And it didn't have the campaign.
So I was like 8 years old. I was so excited. Yes, campaign. Here we go. I've paid 50 quid. There's only multiplayer. I played first 2 games. But man, I'm only 8 years old, so I'm not massive in the multiplayer yet. And I uninstalled it. So, and I wasn't known to the refund policy. So, I guess.
It felt like you wasted 50 quid.
I actually still have that game. I don't think I can return that after what? How long is that? 6 years?
I mean, you could sell it to like
demand court.
No.
Give us court. We'll go into court and we'll demand it.
No, Blue Fox. I bought it off Microsoft Store digitally.
Oh, even more.
And even besides, it's Black Ops. It's a COD game. It's probably gonna be like 20 quid now.
It's a COD game. They've joined it with Xbox. Danny,
Especially,
is Black Ops 6 going to be a good game for people to look out for?
I think it is, and
Okay.
I can't Black Ops 6. I haven't actually done much research on it. I'm not sure whether if it's a continuation of Black Ops 2. it might be, or it might be a totally new. If I look at it right now.
I think there's like a whole Mason storyline in this or something.
So yeah, it is. So yeah, it is a continuation of Black Ops 2 probably.
Yeah, probably.
Because Black Ops 3 isn't related to Black Ops 2. That's like in the future, I think.
Blue Fox, sorry to cut you off there. What were you going to say in that part?
I was about to say not too sure, but yeah, maybe I believe that not only Black Ops 4 will be forever forgotten, but since it's a multiplayer game, then as soon as Activision sees that there's too few people that are playing the game, they'll just close the servers. So the game will literally be unplayable. That's unrefundable.
Okay, big question for Danny. You ready? They did a whole Xbox segment. So like after they did the Xbox showcase this year, they had a whole thing of going, Black Ops 6 is going to be the next level of the Black Ops series. It's just going to level up everything we've done. They basically, they're putting a lot into this game compared to the other games. Do you think that is true? Do you think that that's the hype level we should be expecting?
I don't really know, to be honest, because there were a lot of games coming up.
Yeah.
But hold on, it is on Game.
It is good, yeah.
That according literally, Microsoft believes this is a good enough game to go on Game Pass. This could just be a money grab for Game Pass, but I think it'll be pretty good. But they can't. The campaign has to be really good because we've been waiting for this for ages, and it is a continuation of Black Ops 2, I believe. So this has to be really good. But I think it will live up. It will just about live up to it.
Okay, now let's talk about the more exciting game on my list. Okay, moving to the next one. Blue Fox, you've played this game, and I have so many questions. And I know you're like, I've only played like a very short amount of this, but I want to ask as many questions as possible. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Take it away.
Yes, Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've not played the first one, by the way, so I've tried it a little bit. I've seen some gameplays, but it always flew under my radar. I just never played it.
When you played the game, how advanced is Henry?
Well, I'm not too sure how much he advances in the first game because I only played like the first couple of hours, so I'm not too sure. But he looked to be quite an adult. Let's say in his maybe early 40s. No, a bit younger maybe.
I'd say mid-20s, to be honest with you. In the first game, keep in mind, he's brand new. He hasn't really got a proper job yet. He's like he must be like an 18-year-old lad. He doesn't even know what sword fighting is at that stage.
Okay, it's then he's not 40. No, it's I think it takes place just about after the first game or just a little bit more than that. But I'm not too sure how the first game ends, but in the demo that I've played, you get to play as him, recovering from a small battle where your friend saved you. And in the demo you don't get to do much. You just get to do some side quests and fight some enemies. But yeah, you can do so much in 20 minutes of gameplay. The thing that I've noticed, of course, which was the reason why I played the demo, is the graphical upgrade that the game had. Not only just about like, oh, the graphics are nicer, because I could care less about the graphics if the game is boring, but just how polished the game is. Because I remember the first game to be very rough on the edges. The first game was it was an amazing experience for the people who've played it. I don't blame you guys, but it was rough, like objectively speaking.
I think the people that play the game will agree with you. It most definitely was rough. It was like they wanted to build their first proper RPG, and that's what they came out with. And it was good. It was excellent, but you can tell that there were elements where they put a lot of effort into their first RPG, which was amazing, and it was a real good, kickstart. And it's like playing The Witcher 2. You can tell it's a first proper real good go at making a full-on world, and then they do The Witcher 3, and they've had their practice. They know what they're doing. The next game was polished to spot on, and I feel like that's what this game is doing. Their first game was a real full-on 100% attempt at making a full-on RPG, and this game is going to be spot spot on perfect. But then again, I never played it, so I can only rely on you for the graphic talk.
It's again the feeling of playing it, not only about the graphics, but just the feeling of it, the models, the environment, the togetherness of the game just felt better, just felt
Yeah.
nice. It felt like a AAA production this time, and again, I'm quite excited. It's looks quite nice. I might even play it. I'm not sure if I have to play the first one first, but it's surely the hype around the game is justified. It was one of the biggest booths in the Gamescom.
Yeah.
It was, I believe, the first booth that you saw in one of the pavilions, maybe number 9. I can't remember the number, but it was all medieval themed, and yeah, it was the developers really wanted to be on the spotlight. They really wanted people to be like, guys, we are making a sequel, and this sequel will blast. Will be the jump from like The Witcher 2 to The Witcher 3, as you said. Now, is that going to be the case? Well, nobody knows.
Really hope
Every
so.
game that we'll discuss today, nobody will know
Nobody
until
will
the
know.
game it's out. But nonetheless, very good impressions about the Kingdom Come.
Okay. Slight question. Yeah. What's the combat like? What's the combat? Is the combat good?
It's like the first one. It's you still have the swords fight with the 5 directions.
Yep.
And since I've not played the first game, I was pretty weak at it because I had no clue what I was doing. But I improvised and somehow managed to find my way along. But yes, it's in that regard, yeah, they stick with the formula, which I don't know. It's one of the things that make Kingdom Come unique in the sense of like, hey, look, it's not just bashing bottoms like in Skyrim, but at the same time, it does make the game a little bit more. It takes more effort to play it. Let's put it that way. So that can be a bit discouraging for some players who just want to fight their way in medieval Bohemia.
I think that's where it gets itself from it, because it's not that. It's not meant to be the bashy out the way thing.
Yeah, it's not meant to be, but it's yeah, for some people that might be something that they threw them off because yeah, it's in the game you also have to eat, you have to heal your wounds with with medications, otherwise you bleed to death. You have to eat, you have to sleep. So yeah, it's things that makes the game more realistic, which is amazing. But at the same time, some people don't want that. Some people just want to roam the land and kill everything that moves, like in The Witcher.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next game. We'll move on to Assassin's Creed now. Shadows. Who wants to take first start in this one? Danny?
Yeah, what's up?
You wanted to say something about Assassin's Creed Shadow before we started the podcast?
Yes. It might get people annoyed. I just feel like they don't really care anymore. I swear down, there's been a new Assassin's Creed like every single year at this point. I'm losing track. It's just taking the piss at this point. At this point, it's just practically just it's a different place with a different storyline. That's it. Every single year, the combat's virtually the same every single year. There's slight differences here and there with graphics and stuff, but I feel like if you're just releasing a game every single year, it's like turning into a sports game. Here we go. We're just gonna release one every single year, just different story, different time and era. Here you go. Here you go. £60, please. £70 here. Oh, £100 for a deluxe edition, please. Like they're not taking their time, and it's weird because it's a Ubisoft game, yeah. But it's other friends like Watch Dogs, yeah. Yes, it has 3 Watch Dog games, but they all took their time. Why can't Assassin's Creed take its time as well and become a bit better? Try something different, yeah. Far Cry as well. They take their time with the games. They take their time, and it's different every single game. There's completely different mechanics. But I feel like Assassin's Creed, it's kind of the same thing every year, just a bit different. But and Assassin's Creed, it's a big name. There's a lot of old previous games which are like really good, but this is just my opinion. Some people will disagree with me. I really like Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Assassin's Creed Unity and Valhalla. I think those games are really good. That those were well developed, yeah. But I'm just losing track at this point, and I feel like they need to just slow down, take their time, and try something different, or just get more in the storyline a bit more. I don't know, just chill, yeah. You could do more with just what you can take your time. You could take a couple of years. It's
100%. And to be honest with you, I do get where you're coming from, because before it used to be kind of like a linear storyline where you'd be able to put in a game, and then you play the story, and you'd be able to, and because RPGs were limited back then, you could complete that type of storyline with this character and learn enough about him, and you could do that within a few weeks to a month or something. Now it feels like there's so much stuff crammed into it in recent years, like when Assassin's Creed games comes out, that I feel a bit like I just don't have the time to sit and play a full-on RPG days after days after days, where before it might have taken me a week or two. But I do get your point. However, I have not played the game, Blue Fox. Did you play I think you mentioned that you played it at VidCon?
I have not
Gamescom?
played Assassin's Creed. There was a presentation. It
No?
wasn't
Okay.
an open demo. So a developer played the game and discussed the game while he was playing the game.
Yeah.
So that was very nice. That's it's very nice when you see the developers talking openly about their game and the project and the things they've developed. I might to disagree with the point that was made earlier. I'm somebody that criticizes Assassin's Creed quite often because I was quite a big fan. But I mean, it's a bit dishonest to say that the games have been releasing constantly when it's been 4 years since Valhalla, which is the last mainline game. That was Mirage, which was a bit of a spin-off fish.
That's
But
fair,
yeah,
yeah.
it's been 4 years. I mean, in 29, Assassin's Creed 2, 2010, Brotherhood, 2011, Revelations, 2012, 3,
but
2013, Black Flag,
those were good
2014,
games,
Rogue,
though.
2015, Syndicate. And then when they take 4 years, now we criticize them because there are too many Assassin's Creed. It feels a bit dishonest. I mean, we talked about Call of Duty earlier, and we didn't make such critique. So
Call of
I
Duty,
believe it, and Far Cry, it's definitely not a good example of a franchise
Okay.
that makes a repetition good, because Far Cry 6 sucks. This is an opinion that most people, myself included, have, even if some time has passed between 6 and 5. So in my defense, I believe Assassin's Creed Shadow looks promising. It looks a bit disappointing in the melee combat, that I do agree. The gameplay of Yasuke, I believe is a character that plays with, let's say, the sword and the hammer. It looks a bit generic. Looks fun in the sense of like, oh, you're beating up all these enemies and the environment is destructible and whatnot. So great, but it looks monotonous. But the stealth, the Naomi stealth, that looks very promising. You are really playing as a ninja in a way that we did not see in not even the older Assassin's Creed, because in the older Assassin's Creed the game was very guided, so all the enemies would turn their backs and you would just go up behind them and stab them one by one. But here you really have to think about the lighting, for instance, the light. You have to throw your shurikens and turn off the lights. Since the walls are made of paper, since it's ancient Japan, you may kill people from the wall. It's there's some sort of you can go into below the ponds and take a little straw and breathe underwater. Like it, there's quite a lot of characteristics. I can see potential. Now, if all the missions will be repetitive, this, of course, I do not know. But it's from the gameplay they've shown me, which probably will be out on YouTube in a couple of weeks, then I think you'll agree with me that the gameplay it's very, very promising in the stealth part. In the action part, yeah, I do have my concerns, but it's again looks like a quite nice project. It's a setting fans have been craving for a long time. It's been again 4 years since an Assassin's Creed, so it's they have taken their time. They might have make some improvements that may tackle your concerns.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to bet in favor of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
So the last Assassin's Creed was 4 years ago. What did you say?
How long was the last Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla was in 2020. Mirage.
How about Mirage? That's silly.
Yeah, but that's a smaller project that was released only for like $40. So it's a bit of a spin-off.
They started to develop it. It's
Yeah,
still
but
a game. It's 40 bucks. That is still quite a decent amount for
it's
a
the
game.
smaller studio. Like again, why don't you make the same critique of Black Ops 6? While there's been only Assassin's Creed Mirage for the Call of Duty franchise, has been Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and now Black Ops 6. So
no, because
if there's a franchise that it's known for their yearly releases that are a bit repetitive, I don't want to point fingers.
If you want to talk about year releases, look at FIFA, yeah, and just any sports game. But no, when you said Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, yeah, that was when was that? That was released. That was released last year? Was it? That was the end of last year. But hold on though, because that is different to Black Ops. Yeah, they're two different, completely different universes of people. So that's allowed, sort of, some could say.
Oh,
'Cause, like,
because setting the game in Japan instead of England, that's not different enough. That's not
because every Black Ops, yeah, it has its
Yeah.
it has like its own, but like proper story, proper emotion going on, yeah,
Yeah.
motion capture with like cinematics and people, yeah, like it gets your heart racing, yeah. In Assassin's Creed, every single time I played it, yeah, there is cinematics and some motion capture, but I don't have that like connection. Like, oh my god, I need to do this mission, otherwise he's gonna die, or blah blah blah. Like the embassy is being overrun by the terrorists. Yeah, because I get if they imagine if they come with a Modern Warfare 4 this year, that would be a piss take. Yeah, yeah, I'll totally agree with you, Blue Fox, but when you said Modern Warfare 3, we wait for that for 2 years, and but this new Modern Warfare, it's coming from the old Modern Warfare, but a different type of storyline, because you know how we had how we had Modern
Oh yeah,
Warfare
you
in,
know,
like,
I know.
2010, yeah. They're doing it again, but in 2019, the new Modern Warfare 1, and 2022, and then last year again. But this is Black Ops, and the Black Ops 6. I don't know how to check this, yeah, but I think, like you said, Seb, it's Mason's storyline, yeah.
Yeah.
That's on Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 2 got released. I don't know. So when was Black Ops 2?
So I can't remember.
Yeah, but it was quite a long time ago.
Long time ago.
like in
And
25 or something.
Yeah, but Black Ops 6, that's coming from Black Ops 2, and I know. Oh, but how about Black Ops 3, 4? Black Ops 3.
It's a strange
Black Ops 3
storyline.
was shit. Black Ops 4 wasn't even a campaign. Black Ops Cold War. It was actually a sort of a continuation, because we saw that FBI dude, forgot his name. That made sense. I don't know why they did the Black Ops 5, but Black Ops 6 makes sense, yeah. And a Modern Warfare 4 wouldn't. I don't think they're gonna do any more Modern Warfare. Yeah, because they've redid that storyline from 10 years ago.
Don't underestimate the power of money. Yeah, it's if they were managed to make a Black Ops 6, they will manage to make a Modern Warfare 6.
To
if
be
they
honest,
want.
they'll probably do the same thing with Black Ops.
It
is that
depends
being
if
going back
it
to-
works or not, and it all depends on the company. But
But
yeah,
going back to
there's a
Assassin's
whole
Creed,
thing.
going back
Yeah,
to Assassin's Creed,
just-
we're not here to discuss Call of Duty.
We're not
I
here to
just want
discuss
to-
Call of Duty versus Assassin's Creed. At this
Wait,
point.
it's
Yeah, obviously.
again, I'm
Yeah.
the first person to criticize Ubisoft for their very silly decisions, so I'm skeptical as the next guy. But I believe that to make the critique that Assassin's Creed comes out every year and that Ubisoft doesn't know what to invent, when Ubisoft took a 4-year gap between the major releases, I think it's a bit dishonest. I think Ubisoft does deserve
I think
deserve the benefit of the doubt
Assassin-
when it comes to have time to develop the game. Now, if the game's gonna be
This-
good, that I do not know. But
Yeah.
This
it's
Assassin-
it
yeah,
has
I
to
got
be admired.
Yeah, I didn't know Assassin's Mirage was a spin-off. Yeah, so I was going off when I said that, I was going off base. Assassin's Creed Mirage was just a fully brand new, like, dedicated game. I didn't know it was a spin-off. So now I'm partly agreeing with you about that. Now that means that this Assassin's Creed is actually might actually be really good, because I didn't know it was a spin-off. I thought it was just another game, and they're releasing another one. When is it? This year? Next year?
Wow.
Probably next year. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's. I don't know. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't know.
All right, moving on next to the next game, we have Civilization 7. This is definitely a Blue Fox talk, because Blue Fox, I feel like you're passionate about Civilization 7. So is it good? Is it bad? Did you get a chance to play it?
It's if there's one video game series that has followed through my life, apart from, like, your Pokemons and Mario's, it was Civilization. I played Civilization 4 when I was a small kid.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered Civilization 5 when I was, like, I think 11 was the first game that I pre-ordered, and I got, maybe not on day one, but like very close to day one. It's I played 300 plus hours of that game. Then I pre-ordered Civilization 6 when it came out when I was in late high school. Played it throughout college, university. And now that I'm a working adult, I cannot wait to play Civilization 7. I didn't play it because, of course, Civilization is a pretty hard game to play a demo of. You have to play like 10 hours to even understand what's going on. But I did again, so a developer playing the game from Firaxis in the 2K stand, and it's explaining what was the bigger changes. So, for instance, the river system was changed, the great generals, the eras, the tech tree, a lot of changes that took place that they also discuss in the direct itself. So I'm not gonna go with all the changes, but actually seeing the gameplay really surprised me in a positive way.
All right.
And yeah, it looks splendid. I don't know what else to add. It's truly magnificent.
I have a question. Sorry, just a slight question. Just because I've been following the Civilization a little bit, but not majorly. Yeah. However, there was one game that I did generally have a lot of play around with, and I can't remember exactly what was like on the fall, involved inside that game. And that game was Civilization Revolution. Was that part of the Civilization franchise?
It's part of the Civilization franchise in the way that it's like the black sheep of the Civilization franchise.
Was it actually? Yeah.
It was very bad. I didn't play it.
I loved it. It was like one of the best Xbox 360 console games out at the time. It was a lot of people played it, but we didn't really play the full-on Civilization franchise.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, maybe if you play it from nowhere, like in the sense of like in the console, because the problem with Civilization is that it's a very, computer type game. You really want to play it in the computer. Playing it on console, it's a headache. I don't know how people do it. But back in the day, it wasn't even available on consoles because, Firaxis knew that people would not play it. So they released Revolution just to, like it's like a tech demo.
It was the console push for the game. That's what it was.
It's like, again, it's like a teaser, like an appetizer, if you will. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, of course, but it is a black sheep of the franchise. That and Beyond Wars, that also was a bit of a letdown.
We'll move over quickly to Indiana Jones. We'll talk about that really quickly. Indiana Jones, Bethesda's influence on within a game company that is making the game Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. Daddy, thoughts on this one? I don't know.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen. Is there even is there a trailer for it?
There's a trailer for it. It's got an official release date now. So
I honestly I can't really tell you anything. I don't know. I've not seen any. I have not seen a trailer, but just for me, without knowing anything, who's it made from?
Bethesda. But Bethesda's influenced it. I don't know the actual game company name.
It's Machinima. It's the guys from guys from Wolfenstein.
Well, I expect it to be good.
Okay, then it could
generally be that case, no, that's annoyed me then. No, I'm annoyed about that.
That you haven't heard of it.
No, I'm annoyed. Why aren't they making a Wolfenstein 5? I'm not happy. Because Wolfenstein is just amazing. That 4-game sequel, the 4th game terrible, but I don't know.
Maybe they're working on it in the background, which we all hope.
But knowing Warhammer's making it, I forgot what it was called now. What was it called? Sledgehammer, there you go. Knowing that they're making it, and knowing that they make Wolfenstein, I expect this to be good. Yeah. But because if it wasn't made by them,
it's meant to be
or if it's made by a
good.
company which has got quite low games, to me it would just be like, okay, it's kind of a bit of a money grabber. But seeing as Bethesda's influenced it, and it's made by Sledgehammer, I expect it to be good. Or half decent, at least fun to play.
Boo Fox, was it actually down at Gamescom? I can't remember if it was down at Gamescom.
It wasn't playable. It was another presentation, and I had a bit of an opposite reaction when it first was announced and I saw the trailer. I thought to myself, nah, it looks a bit disappointing. Like, I don't know why they chose it to make a first person, for instance, because like you're playing as Indiana Jones, like you're traveling the world. It's basically Uncharted, right? I mean, Uncharted is basically video game Indiana Jones. Yeah. So you would expect that an Indiana Jones video game would be like an Uncharted. But no, they decided to make it a first person. Still Uncharted-esque kind of game, but in first person. Yeah. I was like, that just looks silly. Like you're using the whip. Like, I don't know. It really didn't convince me. So then I saw the presentation, and the presentation was more solid. I think helped me to solve some of my issues that I had with the game. It showed me the potential of having it in first person. It showed me also some levels. One of them set in Vatican City in Rome, which is quite nice. And in general, yeah, it looks very Uncharted-esque. I don't know how to describe it. It's looks quite nice. It's the plot, of course, is very subjective. Hopefully, it's well. The developers are not known for their plot-based games. I mean,
Yep.
they made Wolfenstein. So
Can I just add something? I'm looking at the trailer right now. It does look like a machine. It does look like I can recognize some things like
Yeah.
some type of capture from
Yeah.
Wolfenstein. But I'm looking at it and the combat looks a bit janky.
well, that's the
It
thing.
looks
It's not a fighting game in theory. It should be an
obviously
action
not, but
adventure,
like
right?
Indiana Jones is, it's quite action packed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I expect some really cool fighting scenes at least, yeah, or some thought into it because I remember watching the newest Indiana Jones where he's like really old, and he still has pretty cool fighting scenes. But yeah, I think it's more. This is more adventure than action. This is more
Yeah,
for
it's
like the
but
story
again,
or
as I
something,
said, I wasn't very convinced either from the trailers, which is the one that you're probably just seeing now.
probably. Yeah.
But seeing the gameplay, which will be released like again in a couple of weeks' time, I don't know. It made me a little bit more optimistic. Like I actually saw the game being played, and it looks smooth. It looks playable. Now, of course, trailers and these kind of presentations are always a bit maneuvered to just show you the best, but still, it looked honest. It looked honest, and
Yeah.
it looked quite nice. So I'm hopeful this game will do fine. I will not
Yeah.
buy it on day one, but it will be on my agenda.
But I'm hoping for Wolfenstein then, seeing as they're still making games.
You know what? Before I move on to the next game around this, here's my take on this. All right, yeah. It looks great. Again, as Danny says, Wolfenstein, and like it comes from Wolfenstein with a Bethesda influence. Yeah, it sounds amazing. It looks amazing. Everything about it sounds amazing. But, and here's the but, yeah.
Yep.
It's a movie game. And
Yeah.
that's my only issue
That's
with
the
this
thing.
whole thing. That's the catch.
That's not. No. I have something to complain because it's different when you make a video game solely based on a movie, right? So you make, I don't know, you make a video game based on Terminator, like the first movie, and I think it's to base it on the, let's say, world of a movie. So, like for instance, Star Wars games, right? Like a Star Wars game like Jedi Fallen Order, it's an amazing game because it's not just telling the same story we saw in the movies. It's just another story still in the Star Wars universe with, new characters, new worlds, and whatever, with some recurring connections with the series. So this is not a movie game because it's not the first, the second, the third,
It
or God
is.
forbid, the
You've
fourth movie.
got a point.
It is a new adventure. It's Indiana Jones that's younger, that's feeling this prophecy of
jump.
the Great Circle and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a new adventure. It's something completely new. So it's not transforming a movie into a video game. It's just based on the universe of the movie. So there's a distinction. And games that do this they have good chance to do well. Not always, of course, but they have a better chance.
It's like Hogwarts Legacy versus
Like Hogwarts Legacy,
yeah,
that's an excellent
it
example.
it passed. It good. It did a really
Yeah,
good
that
job.
game was developed well.
That game was developed well. And if this game does the same thing, and I believe it in so, it should be a good game. We'll move on to the next game, Monster Hunter Wilds. It's supposed to be a really big game at Gamescom, so I've heard from Blue Fox. But yeah, let's talk about that one. I don't even know what Monster Hunter is, so I'm excited. What is Monster Hunter Blue Fox?
Just before I explain it, just to highlight how much this game was anticipated. I tried the game as soon as possible in the second day I went to Gamescom, so there was little line because I just rushed to it. But as soon as I played the game, I turned my back and saw the 8 hours sign for the list, for the waiting list.
And you were like,
line.
I'm so glad I got here
hours.
early.
So that means there are people who bought a full ticket for a convention that takes place in Germany, and they're spending it 2/3 of that day ticket. They're spending it in line. That's how much this game is anticipated. And I've tried the demo, and I can confirm that I would have waited a lot to play it because
Yeah.
it was a truly amazing demo. I played for like 30, 40 minutes, something like that, and it was very nice. Monster Hunter is again an action adventure game. It's similar-ish to the Dark Souls games in the sense of like combat-wise, but it's not as
Okay.
punishing as Dark Souls. It's more, it's a bit more relaxed. And yeah, as the name suggests, you hunt monsters. Go figure. And Monster Hunter Worlds was quite nice for computer. Before that, the 3 and 4 for the 3DS were also truly nice gems. And Rise I haven't played, but they also talk good about it. But yeah, Wilds looks splendid. It looks very dynamic. The gameplay, it's all over the place, but it's so well, just flows well. You truly feel like a monster hunter. You're using various weapons to take down certain enemies, and then you are galloping your kind of bird-like horse around the map, and then suddenly the map changes because there's like a thunderstorm. And then you have to adapt. And you have to work together because Monster Hunter is a very co-op game. So it's truly an amazing experience. I really had a blast playing the demo.
What I'm understanding is that the game is meant to be something else, and I generally I'm gonna have to deep my legs into that and discover a bit more about that before I have proper comments on that. But
Like if there is a game
yeah,
that it's the definition of a video game, so a game that is fun, that is playable by people who are both rookies to gaming and both who are expert, people who like want to play a long game, but it's not too long. So like you can play it in certain sections because in the game you go to missions, so you don't have to roam the world 50 plus hours endlessly. No, you play mission specific. It's it's truly definition of like quote unquote the perfect video game. Not as if like the game is perfect, but as in the perfect idea of a video game that is not too long, not too short, very complex but not too complex. You know what I mean? It just feels like the right balance of game.
yeah.
And again, you fight these huge monsters, and everyone is unique. Every monster has their own attacks, and it's not only like, oh yeah, this monster attacks. It's just that monster's just quicker. It's like no, like there is effects, there is different movesets, and then like the monster gets hurt, and then like the monster goes away to attack you again. It's truly dynamic. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I can't wait to dip more of myself into that particular game. I'm going to slowly move over to the next game now, which is going to be a Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Now, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster was not announced at Gamescom. We're going to break out of this a little bit. We're going to discuss some other games, but these games are still set to come out, everything that we mentioned, so I'm really excited about some of this stuff. Okay, so starting off with Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Danny, we've played Dead Rising together. What are your thoughts about them bringing out the Deluxe Remaster a second time?
Wait, what did we play? Was it Dead Rising 2 we played?
We played Dead Rising 2. They're redoing Dead Rising 1, not a first remaster, it's their second remaster of Dead Rising 1.
Well, I haven't actually played Dead Rising 1, so I don't really know, but I have seen gameplay of it. And yeah, no, it did get remastered, didn't it? It's already been remastered. I don't know, I remember seeing a video. Unless I'm wrong.
It's getting a remaster.
A remaster of a remaster.
Well, I think it's more of a remake, right? Because like it got remastered in the sense of like, oh, maybe the game was in PlayStation 3, so now it's in PlayStation 4. So like, okay, thank you. But I think it's going to be like a full-on remake, as in the models are going to be remade. Because in
the title for it is actually
it's not only an HD edition, which is like, okay, cool, the game is in HD, but like the game is still like 26 junky kind of game. Also gameplay-wise, like it's a little bit junky.
Yeah.
But, it was an early PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 game. I mean, it was fun, but yeah, it was an early game. Like you can tell that. You have streamed it recently, right?
Here is my issue with it. Yeah, that's why I love number 2 better than number 1. Because every single thing you do in pretty much number 1, Frank has literally a camera in his hands all the time, and I know it's not that I'm against that or anything, and I understand why he's a photographer. It's just sometimes I'm like, you can't have a normal pose. You can't just have a normal pose. He has to be holding a camera all the time. Now it's not a complaint. It's just a thing. But it's just a personal kind of like, yeah, number 2 is better for that reason. Because number 2, you just get to run around as Frank and just like play as him, and it's just gonna. I think the play around as Frank is just a little bit more cooler. I don't feel like if there was a zombie apocalypse, your first interest wouldn't be to carry your camera around everywhere. But as you do, as some people do, some people like to get right in on the fight, land on a roof in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and take pictures. That's what some people like to do. But yeah. Danny, would you get Dead Rising, the Deluxe Remaster?
Yeah, I will.
And
It depends. Hold on, depends how much.
I have no idea. Probably like whatever a remaster costs, probably like 20 quid for that type of game. I'm hoping.
I'll probably buy it because it is a pretty graphics right now, and I know I shouldn't do that because of graphics, but it's just really janky as well. If they fix the movement of it as well.
There's not a lot of games I say get because of graphics, but I feel like Dead Rising, the very first one, I think the graphics have definitely slightly showing their age, and I feel like getting a remaster would definitely help with that. Blue Fox, is this a game you'd get?
Yeah, probably not. I'm not a Dead Rising fan.
Not your style.
No, it's not. I've played a little bit of the first game. It was alright, but that's just not my cup of tea.
What about, would you buy a game called Avowed that we're going to be talking about next?
Aha, it's what a smooth transaction to
it is,
to Obsidian's most wanted expected game for this year or next year. I think it's early next year, February.
What?
But yes, I've watched another presentation, which was with developers of Obsidian playing the game. And yes, if you don't know, Avowed is basically Obsidian's version of Skyrim, because I mean, the Bethesda stole from them Fallout, so it's only but fair. And yes, it looks. I mean, objectively speaking, it looks very crowded when you play because you have tons of things you can do. So, like in the demo, they showed how you can use your sword, use your shield, use your spell, use your book of spells, use your wand, use your magic grenades or whatever. Like, there's a lot of things you can do in the game, and in the demo, it looked a little bit too much. Like it's, I don't like it when the UI of the game is so crowded with so many things that you barely know what they even mean. But the game itself looks quite nice. It's again, it's a very RPG in the traditional way of like Fallout New Vegas, so you can really see the choices of dialogue you have, which are not Fallout 4's level of simplicity. You see more complexity, and that I really appreciate. But you still see the humor of Obsidian, right? Like in the quest they shown, I don't know if it's public on YouTube now, but like it's the way it ended was very humorous, and I really enjoyed it because it showed how the game can take itself seriously when it needs it, but not too serious in the way that you forget that it's a video game. And sometimes when you play a video game, you want to be reminded that you're playing a video game, so it has to be a little bit silly, but not too much. And Obsidian really nails this in their games. So yeah, Avowed looks again quite splendid. If you were thinking of buying it, I see no reason why not to. The only thing that I'm a bit concerned is the crowdness of the interface. I hope they do fix that or make it a little bit nicer to the eye, because I really had a hard time following what was even happening. I really don't like it when games make it very hard to follow what's even happening. Like I like games like Ghost of Tsushima, which they just said, okay, let's remove all the UI that's pointless. Like that's a philosophy I want video game developers to follow more. Rather than to put more, you have to put less, because less is more.
Alrighty then. You know what? It actually looks pretty class from the stuff I'm looking at. I was expecting it when you originally said it to me. I was expecting it to be like a 2D thing. It looks like full on 3D. Like they've built like entire worlds. They've gone really creative over it. It's definitely a game I'm interested in. So I can't wait to take a look at this when it actually.
I mean, it's made by Obsidian again, the guys from Fallout New Vegas and from the other world. So it's,
you can see the Elden Ring's influence. Sorry,
yeah,
with the Elden Rings, what am I talking about? No, I was talking about. Sorry, what was it? The Elder Scrolls the Elder Scrolls influence in this.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because again, they didn't develop Obsidian or Skyrim, right? But they did develop Fallout New Vegas because Bethesda bought the Fallout franchise.
Yeah,
and
but those
Bethesda
games
was like, "Oh, you guys make it so well."
Those games are somewhat on the same engine, aren't they?
I'm not too sure if they're on the same engine. I think it's on the same engine from the other worlds, but the other worlds has a different engine. But it's very similar. Yeah, it's similar to the creative engine from Bethesda, but it's not the same. Although, funnily enough, since Microsoft bought Bethesda, that means that both Obsidian and Bethesda are owned by Microsoft, which is very ironic because those two companies are rivals. So I don't know. It's pretty funny to think about it. But
They're
still,
both rivals, and and Microsoft owns them both.
yeah, that's capitalism, right? It's why compete when you can buy the market? No, but jokes aside, it's again looks quite nice, very colorful. I like
Before we get
direction
fired
of
from Xbox, because
yes,
Xbox
it's
owns us.
I like the fact that it's very colorful. The game, it's because Skyrim it's very gray. It's it's that PlayStation 3 vibe of like, oh yeah, everything has to be gray just because. Like no, Avowed is like, oh look, we have RTX. Let's make colors out of it, right? It's like the other wars. It's very visually appealing, and that's very important to me in gaming.
All right, okay. Right, we'll do one more, and I'll do a few mentions as well, and then we'll bring this slowly down to an end because I'm using up all my time here. And we're getting to the end of my recording data. So, right, we'll talk about Lost Records. But before I do, I'll just do a few mentions. There are a few games that I'm also interested in that I'm still looking at. So games like Life is Strange, I'm looking forward to. Fable, Mars Attracts, and Inzoi. I think that's the correct pronunciation, but it's like a Sims game. There's another game. Danny, we're both interested in a game that's coming out very soon, aren't we? That's called Grand Theft Auto. That's supposed to be quite big. However,
yes.
there's very little information about it, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can actually talk about
No,
it.
we'll do a podcast of all of us when the second confirmed trailer comes out.
Then we'll
Whatever
have a
the
talk about
second
that.
trailer
We'll just
is.
have a whole episode about Grand Theft Auto at that point.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And then it'll just be me and Danny, to be honest with you, that particular podcast. So what's going to happen in GTA? How many tracks is it going to have by the time of the name? A game that me and Danny have watched earlier on this year. It's called Lost Records. It's made by the same developers as far he's the same developers as Life is Strange. But Danny, what are you thinking about Lost Records?
I can't remember much. I remember it being something about a planet, and yeah, but I can't remember much, to be honest.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be made by Don't Nod, and I'm not full on sure exactly what it's all about. I feel like what they've done, I think it's a bit more like wasn't it something like somebody died in it and they're trying to discover things? It's like a mystery plot, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And also there's like loads of choice conversations in this. It's basically a telltale game about somebody died and I think 4 friends trying to remember the past or trying to remember lost records of what happened, which sounds very interesting, and it's very much a it sounds kind of cool, and I kind of like it, and it's a game I'm looking forward to coming out, as well as because it's kind of the same game creators as Life is Strange. I think it's going to be pretty darn sick.
Still gotta play that game, eh?
Yeah.
I still need to play it. It's
Wait,
my
which
watch
game?
is Life is Strange. It's a
You've
game that I've
never
been
played Life is Strange?
I have not. Don't know why. Blame me how much you want, and you will be right. But I still have to play it. And this game looks promising. This game looks the same vibe that Life is Strange has. So it's hopefully for Don't Not Games, it's going to be a good success story.
Do yourself a favor, yeah. Play Life is Strange, but don't play True Colors. At least not straight away, because True Colors is a little bit different to it's a very interesting, different type of story compared to Life is Strange. However, I do like the Life is Strange 2 as well, and Captain Spirit. Those games are lovely, beautiful, lovely little stories, and I absolutely love them. But yeah, that it is what it is, and it is what it is. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did enjoy the podcast, we will be doing these at the end of every month. We're doing a little bit something different next month. I'm not going to go into it or say what it is right now, but we'll try something a bit more interesting next month. Blue Fox.
Yes, well, it's been a pleasure to be here. And again, it's the Gamescom was a very nice event. I really had a blast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everybody that went to the Gamescom also felt the same way I felt. And I'm looking for most of the games that we've mentioned in this podcast.
If people want to hear more of your voice, where do they go to?
They go to my channel, to BlueFox098. I've recently reached 1,000 subscribers, which is a beautiful milestone. I thank everybody that have subscribed to help me to reach it. And yes, we're looking for the next milestone, which God knows what it will be.
It's
Or when
another
I'll
it's another zero. It's 10,000.
It's 10,000. I don't know. That's a bit too dreamy. Let's say 2,000. I'll be happy with 2,000.
We'll be happy with 2,000. Right. Okay. And I also have Danny in the studio.
Yes, I like that. That will be me.
Danny,
Yes.
talk about yourself for 30 seconds.
Well, I play guitar and drums. I'm a massive Green Day fan. Green Day, if you see this, please send me a signed poster. Also, I like FPS games, and I also I play Xbox, and I'm 6'2". I'm taller than all of these lot.
You don't have to give your
He's
social
taking
security
it
number here,
serious. There you go. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to hear more of Danny, you can watch more of the podcast episodes, and he'll be on a few of them as well. And we'll see you guys on another Jump Inside live stream very, very soon next month. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye-bye.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.